Hi, I'm Dane Muldoon, Senior Sales Engineer at Supply Partners, Australia's leading technical distributor of solar and energy storage systems. What's this? This is a prototype of our new network protection board. We have been a supplier of network protection boards for many years, but this is the first time we've offered an all-in-one solution. So instead of our traditional SPS03 board, which we will continue to supply, that does not have AC distribution components built in as standard, such as circuit breakers, contactors, etc. This is an all-in-one board. It's aimed at the 100 kilowatt market, and it does have all of those AC distribution components built in. Let's take a look. Now, being a prototype, some of the final details are not quite nailed down yet, including things like labeling and some of the cable routing, but this is going to give you a really good idea of what we're doing here. So you can see we have an internal escutcheon, and exposed across the top we've got all of our standard electronics, including of course the protection relay. Here we're using the ABB CM-UFD-M33 protection relay, which is the same one we use in the SPS03 board. We've also optioned this particular board with a solar analytics monitoring system as well, so that you can do all of your consumption monitoring and production monitoring using that unit, which has of course a 3G, 4G modem built in. And then you can see here we have an optional accessory, in this case a surge diverter. So this won't be a standard inclusion, but it will be available as an accessory, and there'll be instructions on how to wire it in. And of course there's already the location in the escutcheon built in for this. In the center we have the contactor. So we're using high quality LS industrial systems switchgear here. LS was founded in the 70s. It was originally part of the Lucky Gold Star group, which went on to be LG. They were spun off in 2003, and they've been their own standalone business since the early 2000s. This particular contactor is rated at 225 amps AC3. So that means that we absolutely have the 100 kilowatt sized installations covered without any problems at all. Here we have the main isolator switch. This is a 250 amp rated main switch. And then down here we have a location for the miniature circuit breakers to be exposed once they're installed, depending on your inverter configuration. Let's take a look inside. First of all, remove the door. Now, as we open the escutcheon, you can see in here what we're using is actually a hybrid distribution chassis. It's referred to as hybrid because it can take two different sizes of miniature circuit breakers. The smaller ones are the LH-BKN range. This goes up to 63 amps. These can be sized appropriately for inverters up to 30 kilowatts. The larger circuit breaker here is an LS-BKH circuit breaker. It can go up to 125 amps, and these are appropriate for inverters as large as 60 kilowatts. The point of using the hybrid distribution chassis is that we can have, for example, 250 kilowatt inverters, 327 kilowatt inverters, 425s, even 520 kilowatt inverters. All of these different configurations are achievable using the distribution chassis, where the circuit breakers go straight onto the fingers here. And then you can see that we have the buzz bars up to the contactor. They flow through around to the main isolator, and then from here you have your AC feed to your main switchboard, or the switchboard that you're connecting to. You can see we have the surge protectors here, all the other electronics, and there's a lot of clever thinking that's gone into this design. One of the things that we've done, for example, is we have a red light with an audible alarm on the base of the unit, but because that goes through the gland plate and we want to make sure that the installation is convenient for our customers, that has terminals inside, so you just need to remove 2 screws, and then the wiring to that light and audible alarm is disengaged, and it's easy to remove the gland plate with that light in situ, and then later, as you put the gland plate back on, just put the wires back into the terminals, 2 screws, and it's done. We will be offering a range of options for the board, the surge protector being one, solar analytics being another. There are spaces set up for the CTs to go straight away, and you can also get things like rain hoods and mounting brackets and things of that nature for the enclosure as well. The enclosure itself is IP56. It is a full welded enclosure, high quality enclosure. This is going to last for years in any environment, whether that be inside, outside, etc. We will also be offering the SPS04 in a variant whereby we don't build in the distribution chassis at all, and we allow for the direct connection of an inverter to the contactor. So there it is, that's your first look at our SPS04 all-in-one network protection board. This is the first prototype. We can support inverters basically from 10 kilowatts up to 60 kilowatts with that distribution chassis, and the version without it allows us to support single inverter connections from the largest inverters in the ranges from manufacturers such as ABB, Sungrow and SolarEdge. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this quick explanation. There's plenty more over at supplypartners.com.au. See you next time.